everybody to Events We Like, because audiences want to discover great events, and I get to talk to wonderful experts. My name is Michelle Finnegan Nixon. I'm just one of the many hosts at Events We Like, and I'm so happy to have Tim Zimmerman here today with me, because we're going to talk about actually a really hot topic about how to deal with our, I guess the layman's term would be head trash, and how to get what we want out of life by understanding how we think about things and how our thoughts control our actions and all that. But I'm going to let Tim take over because this is really his expertise. And so I'm so glad you're here. You might want to get a notebook, you might want to get a pen and paper, because even in this small segment that we have a very short amount of time together, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of jewels of wisdom that Tim's going to share with us today. So again, I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So before we jump right in though, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, if you want to give your website out, that's fine
Sure.
too.
Okay. I'm the CEO and founder of SM3success.com. Basically, those people that know me know that my background is in selling and teaching Dale Carnegie courses. I started actually in the early 1980s and was trained to teach all of 5 of those courses. The reason why I got involved in that is that when I came out of college, I actually went through the Marine Corps Officer Candidate School training for 6 weeks. Actually, August was my 40th year anniversary of that.
Congratulations.
And when I came out of that, I decided not to play football. I played 2 years football, was a champion in high school, wrestler, went to the Marines, decided not to pursue that for my living, and I got involved in Amway. And I made no money in Amway, but it made me a multi-billionaire inside because it got me into the self-improvement, the positive mental attitude arena, reading the books, the Think and Grow Rich, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, The Magic of Believing, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And as I got into sales, I actually took a Dale Carnegie sales course, and normally they would not recruit any of the salespeople there, but they recruited me to take over at 21 years old for the sales course in all of Chicago. So I was trained to teach all 5 of their courses, and I became a corporate trainer and trained individuals for IBM, Xerox, Motorola, Savin Corporation, and a number of different real estate agencies. So salesmen from all walks of life, all different arenas, all different types of businesses would come to the courses, and basically we train them. They would double, triple, quadruple their business because of that training. The managers that came from the Fortune 500 company in the management seminar, those individuals were high performance managers, and they were slotted to actually take over more control. The Human Relations and Leadership course is really the bread and butter of the Dale Carnegie courses. It teaches you communications, executive abilities, and all of that type of thing. So I first got involved in that, and basically I felt that if I mastered those techniques and could train other people in those techniques, I could pretty much do whatever I wanted to in life. Then, because of the Think and Grow Rich and Success with a Positive Mental Attitude sayings that if you control your thoughts, you can control your world, right?
Yeah.
If you actually, what you believe is done unto you, those different quotes, what happened was I started to find out, or really I asked the question, if that's true, how do you control your thoughts? How do you control your beliefs? And in doing so, I started to look at the Eastern philosophy, the Raja Yoga, the one-pointed meditation, Kriya Yoga. I studied under 5 yogic masters, Swami Rama, Bhagavan Sri Rajneesh, Guru Mai, Mother, Paramahansa Yogananda of Self-Realization Fellowship. I then went through 5 Tibetan empowerments, 2 with the Dalai Lama, and I've done more than most. Went to India, sat with masters, And basically, when I did that, I was told that I had done that in previous lives, and my challenge in this life was to attain the same consciousness, but within the materialistic world. So when I came back from India, I actually got into the mortgage business, interestingly enough. You know,
Wait a minute.
a big difference.
I was like, put a towel in your head and do yoga, and he's like, I got into the mortgage business. That's
Right.
a little bit of a...
Right. So I continued to study
Yeah.
and meditate, and I train people in meditation now and all of the aspects that I've gone through. So I was trained as a trainer, so everything I went through, the Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Stephen Covey, Tony Robbins, all of those types of training programs, I can train in those areas. Yet what I originally did and what I did in the mortgage business was I would do sales training for brokers, for their agents, and became successful at doing that and then getting paid back by, they would give me mortgage business. So I did that in San Diego, Sacramento, Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I ran mortgage companies, GMAC Mortgage, worked with Countrywide and a few other mortgage companies there. I actually had a TV show in Lake Havasu called Parade of Homes TV, and it was a marketing show where I controlled the whole hour. I was executive producer and host, and we would show up to 60 homes currently listed for sale. And really the California market actually bought homes sight unseen because of how we actually showed the homes in there. And then when the mortgage meltdown happened, I came to Las Vegas, ran a mortgage company here, was regional manager, and then in 2011, 2012, I decided to do what I'm more passionate about. And that's to help build people, help them to be successful. And that same year, 2012, a protocol came through me that I now use. Initially what I did was I combined the corporate training with the mindset control and development. And it was a fantastic thing because it was more advanced.
You could actually get to the root of the problem that people had and pluck it out. Because that was the conversation we had a few years ago where a lot of people kind of dance around the issue and they spend years in therapy and they put band-aids on it, and some people medicate and some people work out real hard and whatever it is to kind of get that unconscious confidence, which is what we teach at Sales Practice Place too when we're dealing with salespeople, is getting the unconscious confidence. And what you're doing is even more advanced because you actually said that your protocol actually plucks out.
Right.
It doesn't mask it. It doesn't spend years kind of digging through and trying to hope it comes out. It actually, which makes you very different, very unique than the average person.
Right. So initially what I did was I had the corporate training along with the mind development, which is more advanced. And then the protocol came through me. And the protocol is really about uncovering and understanding, eliminating and neutralizing your negative beliefs and negative self-judgments from childhood, and negative traumas, post-traumatic stress, all of those different types of things, anger, fear, worry, anxiety, hopelessness, helplessness, all of those things. It actually eliminates it, and the analogy that I use is having a garden in your mind, and your garden is full of weeds, right? It's all the BS that we have there, right? All the luggage, right? And what we do is we actually pull the weeds by the root with the seeds, put it in a bag, incinerate the bag, it goes poof, and then we plant the polar opposite positive. And to explain that a little bit better, what I found over 40 years of doing what I do is that everyone has an as-is situation. And they have a could-be, should-be, want-to-be situation. Well, how do you get from where you are now to where you want to be?
Right.
How do you get there? That's a question. That's a question.
Oh, yeah, you're getting the answer. We spend a lifetime trying to figure out, prayer, mentors, education, money, whatever, but you still have to plan it somehow, and it sounds like you have the system for that.
So initially what we do is we understand our as-is situation, all of our strengths and our weaknesses. where you want to be, which is your goals and objectives, and then you create a plan of action to get from where you are now to where you want to be, right?
Right.
Okay? You create a ladder of success, a yellow brick road, but the question is, do you really get there? Do you automatically get there? And the answer is no. What happens is that when you hit the road bumps, you typically after 4 or 5 road bumps, walls, some people say, you actually go down into what I call the chutes and ladder approach. You fall down into you go, oh shoot. Right? Why is this happening again? And you get down into your BS and J. Your BS is what? Say it. Say it, everyone. It's your bullshit, but really it's your belief system.
Belief system.
So psychiatrists agree that your belief system is implanted into you from birth to 6 years old. Well, who implants that belief system? Those people around you. Let's call them your parents. How old were your parents when they were implanted in their belief system? 0 to 6, right? Who implanted them? Their parents. All the way up your ancestral tree, up to, all the way up to Noah or, Adam and Eve, everyone's been implanted with this 6-year-old corrupted program. Okay? Then, from 5, 6 years old to 20 years old, you develop negative self-judgments. I'm not good enough, not smart enough, not beautiful, handsome enough, and being unlovable. And
you're working really hard to try to...
You're trying to overcome them. That's what your psyche does to overcome them, and that's what creates the personality traits. So in the training that I do now, the first thing we do is we eliminate and neutralize the negative. Then we look at what the goals and objectives are. Then we do advanced mind development and training to actually do the affirmations, the vision board, the mind map movie, and I train people to meditate and then watch their perfect picture of how they want their life to be in alpha theta thinking, which is the most powerful way to reprogram your mind. But all of it works because we're eliminating and neutralizing the negative.
I think we also have to, it's very important to get people to slow down because we get so busy that we don't take the time to meditate. Almost every spiritual practice out there, no matter what religion, you have to give your mind the space to think. And one of the conversations we were having and actually thinking about creating an event, Events We Like would definitely like to help sponsor Tim Zimmerman. And we even said how to think. How to think and grow rich, or how to think and achieve what you want. Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive, believe, it can achieve. Right, and so we need to get back to the roots of that, no matter.
Well, the challenge with that is, again, you look at that.
Paradigms.
You look at that. How do you think and grow rich?
Yeah.
In those books, they have the only way that they have is through affirmations. Well, you can say that you're great, or you're skinny, I'm skinny, and then you look in the mirror and you go, oh, I'm fat.
Tony Robbins says that.
Right.
You can say there are no weeds and the garden will take over.
Right. So what we do is we actually go into the weed patch and start pulling weeds. The one important thing is to get to the first time that the weed is, because if we have all of these weeds, all of these events that happen, what most therapists do is they take the last one and they collapse it, and then everyone seems fine until it grows back. What we do is we go to the first time when we pull that weed and incinerate it with the root and the seeds, then everything collapses and it never grows again.
Well, we're just about out of time. I'm definitely going to have you back. We're definitely going to do an event. If you go to eventswelike.com/Tim Zimmerman, we are going to put on a special event with Tim Zimmerman to handle this head trash, is the simplest way to say it, and to really plan your vision, your mission, your action plan, implement. But it really does start with your headspace. What we think about ourselves, the stories we tell about ourselves. We need a third eye, someone who can help walk us through it. And the experience that Tim has is phenomenal. Very few people have worked as hard as you have in high-performance success studies of mastering the mind, mastering the body, really mastery of, I don't even know where you came from. Maybe he did come from another planet, but it's really quite amazing. Thank you for being here. Now, how can they find you? You said your website.
You can go to sm3success.com. My phone number is there. You can call me directly. I do personal one-on-one coaching. I am putting together weekend seminars, and my coaching schedule, actually I prefer to do 3 hours a time over 8-week period of time, and I guarantee results.
This is fantastic. Well, I'm glad you joined us. I'm also going to have him speak at the Sales Practice Place here in Las Vegas, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here and spending time with Tim Zimmerman. Incredible resource, a credible mentor, and someone you definitely want to connect with and work with. This is Michelle Finnegan Nixon. Come back to Events We Like next time, and thank you for being here.
Call me. Talk to you soon.